Starting in our comfortable starting positions today, same as it's been for a while, whatever that might mean for you. So wherever your initial range of motion will initiate from. And starting with your scan of the body from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, noticing without any judgment how you're feeling this evening, what's going on in your body, where any points of tension are, maybe from a workout that you did earlier this week or a workout you didn't do earlier this week. Maybe there are some spaces that feel particularly good because you were able to get a stretch in this week or get a good workout in. And like I said, that's as always without any judgment. So just noticing that so that you are aware of your body as we get started. As you complete that scan of the body, I invite you to take any initial range of motion that will feel good for you this evening to start your practice. Maybe it's just an easy stretch. Maybe it's something that we do all together at the beginning of our practice and you'd like a little bit extra, or maybe it's something that we don't typically start with and you know will feel particularly good for you just to start your body moving in the way that feels best. And we'll take about 6 nice deep breaths or 6 more nice deep breaths in that initial range of motion. Or stretch. Doesn't have to be moving if you prefer it not to. And taking just about 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths in your range of motion, finishing it out, evening it up, and then making your way to your comfortable seated position to get started with our couple of ranges of motion all together. I'm going to keep it short because I have a quick core front segment that I want us to start with, and then we'll get into our fun little flow. But same as usual, we'll start with the head and the neck. So that first inhale takes us to that nice long spine out through the top of the head. Our exhale is going to drop that chin to the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. From there, side to side, we're right here towards that right shoulder, opening up through the left side. And you can always reach down towards the mat if you want a little bit deeper of a stretch. Exhale, drops us through center. Inhale to that second side. And we'll go twice more in each direction here. So keeping it moving nice and easy, finding that range of motion, that stretch through the neck, through the shoulders. As you finish that third time in that second direction, that following exhale drops the chin back to the chest, and then that inhale just lifts that head back up nice and long at center. From there, we're going to take 4 nice shoulder circles in each direction. So take your time finishing that roll of the head and the neck out. When you do finish it up, those nice big circles, choose that first direction, whichever feels better for you. Take 4 and then switch and do that opposite direction. 4 in that second direction. When you finish that second direction, just go ahead and release and relax those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. From there, lateral stretcher side to side. First big inhale takes the arms out and up. We're going to go 3 in each direction. Exhale takes that right hand down. That left arm reaches away from our center line. Left hip is down on that mat. Next inhale pulls us up through center. And like I said, 3 times in each direction. So after this one, just twice more. And go ahead and move at your own pace with your inhales and exhales. After we finish those last 2 lateral stretches, we'll finish out with our spinal twist for our upper body as usual. You can go right into it, and no set number for that one. So just taking your time, making your way into it and bringing it side to side at your own pace. So that final inhale brings you up to center, and then our exhale takes us down in that first spinal twist. And then as always for your spinal twist, arms can come up long as you come through center or trail across the knees as you come through center, whichever feels better for you. However much pressure you need to put on those legs for that nice stretch. No set number here, so just kind of feeling it out, moving at your own pace. And from wherever you are, let's go ahead 1 more in each direction. Maybe they're a little slower, maybe they're a little faster. Anything is fine. When you finish that last one, your final inhale brings you back to center. And exhale either relaxes those arms down and around or just relaxes those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Fabulous. We are going to do 2 lower body stretches. We're going to take it your choice for where your legs are. So if you like getting focused on one side and then the other, you can do those 2. If you like feet down the center, feet in your butterfly, wherever you'd like to be, we're going to come into our fold and out of it twice, and we'll find a little bit of a hold. So choose your first foot positioning for wherever you would like to be for that lower body stretch. Inhale, find your long spine, and exhale, go ahead and fold into it. Now, depending on where your feet are, that could look a little different. If you're in that butterfly, maybe hands on the ankles and elbows on the knees. And if you're down that one side, maybe it's a little closer out towards the side. Or if you're in that straddle, maybe hands are out towards the center or out onto those feet. 2 more nice deep breaths in this first one. Fabulous. That next inhale brings us back up, just kind of releases that stretch. And then we're going to switch up that foot positioning. So if you did one side, go ahead and switch to the other. If you did a stretch down the center, maybe change up your foot positioning. If the one that you did feels the absolute best, then you are welcome to stay there as well. Inhale to your long spine and exhale to fold into it. Very nice. Let's take 2 more nice deep breaths here. With that following inhale, go ahead and roll it back up. I'm going to turn it sideways so that I am facing the short edge of my mat. And like I said, we're going to start with a little bit of core front because our flow doesn't really hit core front today. It does a little bit of core back. We do a couple mountain climbers, a little bit of lower body, a little bit of upper body, but I want to give us some time to focus on those stabilizer muscles, on those abs, on those upper and lower portions of the core front. So first and foremost, we're going to start with a crunch. You can start with those knees bent and those feet planted, or those knees up at our 90 degrees. And we're just going to do a nice small range of motion. Fingertips can be behind the ears or reaching up towards the ceiling. Either way, we're just going to lift the head and shoulders up and away and then bring it back down. Couple reps just at your own pace there for that crunch, starting by just activating that upper core and getting it moving. Maybe you find a little pause at the top just to activate a little bit more. Very nice. We're in this crunch for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Go ahead and relax the head and shoulders down. Relax those arms down. Bring those knees up to tabletop if they aren't already there. We're going to start that lower core with a nice easy range of motion. We're going to alternate one foot and then the other. I'm going to bring my hands out into an A-frame for a little more of a challenge, but if you want more stability, those fingertips can go underneath those hips. We're going to start by keeping those knees at 90 degrees. I'm going to bring my heel down to the floor through its range of motion and then back up to meet. Now, if this isn't a super challenging range of motion for you, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't, either way, if it isn't, I want you to really think about activating through the core muscles to keep that lower back pressed as firmly down into the mat as you can get it. While you're there, maybe you press those palms down into the mat a little bit harder. Maybe you press the back of the head down into the mat and create that activation. Nice and slow and controlled here. Now, if this feels like a good challenge, you can stay with that alternating. If you're ready to take it up a notch, we're going to take both feet down and back up, keeping the lower back nice and stable. So as you take those feet down, if the lower back pops up off the floor, stop that range of motion right before you get to that point and bring them back up to that 90 degrees. If you can tap those heels to the floor, that's fine. Just make sure our lower back is nice and stable and protected. As always, don't forget to breathe. No matter whether you're alternating, you're taking both feet down and back up, we're in this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just briefly go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest. Give me a little rock side to side or in little circles. Give yourself that nice little lower back massage. Fabulous. Pull that right knee in towards the chest. Extend that left leg out long. As always, lower is more challenging. Higher is a little bit easier. Lift the head and shoulders for a little bit more of a challenge. We're going to take that right out to meet the left. I want you to pause with both feet out long and then pull that opposite side in. So we're not bicycling back and forth, but I want them to meet out long and then pull in. Same as always, keep that lower back protected. So take those feet up towards the ceiling a little more if it starts to move around a bunch. Not a whole ton of time left here on this core front, so stick with me. Increase that challenge by pausing with both legs out long for just an extra moment, and then pull it back in. Keep going here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take those feet straight up towards the ceiling, straight up towards the ceiling. Double leg lower lift. Hands can be out wide in that A-frame or underneath those hips. Here we go through your range of motion, whatever that is. Down towards the floor and then back up. Again, keeping those feet a little bit higher is going to make it a little easier, but we want to keep that lower back protected. So wherever that starts to release up off that floor, I want you to end that range of motion. Again, nice and slow and controlled. Keep that core nice and active. Don't even let it rest at the top. Very nice. We're in this leg lower for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees, plant those feet. Let the head and shoulders release and relax. Let's give that posterior chain a little bit of work here. Go ahead and press those hips up towards the ceiling. Nice little glute bridge, nice little shoulder bridge. You can give the core front a little bit of a break. Let those muscles release and relax, but squeezing those glutes, maybe pressing those palms down into the mat. Let's take this to single leg. Go ahead and lower those hips. Cross that right ankle over that left knee, just like our figure 4 stretch, but keep that left foot planted. Let's go ahead and lift those hips up. You've got 3 options here. You can keep this hold right where it is. You can find a little halfway down, halfway back up where those hips don't quite touch the floor, or you can come all the way down through that range of motion and then press back up. Either way, through the full bottom of that left foot, we're working that left leg, that posterior chain, and don't forget to breathe. Give me 3 more lifts for that left side, or 3 more pulses, or 3 Mississippi if you're holding it up nice and high. When you finish that third or that third count, go ahead and switch sides. So left ankle crosses over that right knee. Same thing on that second side, same 3 options. Fabulous work. We've got 3 more or 3 more counts on this side. And then go ahead and set those hips down, pull those knees in towards the chest. All right, very nice. Final core front movement before we get into our flow this evening. You've got some options. That first option is going to be to keep the head and shoulders down on the mat. We start with our knees pulled in, we extend out nice and long, and then we pull back in towards center. Our second option, or our third option, I guess, our most challenging option, is going to be to extend long and then pull up onto those hips. Our in-between option has those hands behind the hips. We extend out nice and long, and then we press up onto those palms, using them for that extra little bit of support. Not super long here, so try and challenge yourself whenever you're ready. Any of those 3 options is fabulous, and let's go ahead and get moving. Just a couple times here. Big exhale brings you up towards the center or pulls those knees in towards the chest if you've got that torso down on the floor. So again, that little bit easier of an option keeps us down. We're moving those feet in and out. Challenging option brings us up to those hips for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Go ahead and rock it back. Bring those knees up to our tabletop, arms out into our T. Both knees go down towards that right side, and we look over that left shoulder, a little spinal twist. Bring it through center, switch those legs over to that left side, look over that right shoulder. Very nice. Go ahead and bring them back to center. Give me a little rock and roll to sit it on up. Whew. All right. Fabulous. We're going to move into our flow next. If you would like a sip of your beverage, now is the perfect opportunity. we are going to meet standing at the back of our mat. So go ahead and start to make your way there. Grab your steps, shake anything out that you need to. We're going to move into our flow. Up next. I am back on my sets of 3. So pretty much everything that we're going to do here is going to be a set of 3 or 3 on each side for 6 in the case of our mountain climbers. We are going to start with our Pilates push-ups. We are going to do just 1 set of Pilates push-ups. However, that entails 3 push-ups. Challenge yourself a little bit. Try and get your full range of motion from the most challenging version of it that you can. So we're starting off at the back of our mat. When you're ready with your next inhale, we're going to take those arms out and up. Exhale is going to bring you down into that forward fold. We'll take a moment there. So if you're still kind of making your way back to your mat, give yourself a second, bring it into that fold. Nice little lower body stretch. Maybe be gentle with yourself, a bend in those knees. Maybe keep the head a little bit lifted here. All right, very nice. We're going to inchworm our way forward into our high push-up plank. So bend those knees, bring those fingertips down, walk them out, little shoulder work, put a little pressure on those shoulders. When you get to the edge of that range of motion out into that high push-up plank, 3 push-ups, toes or knees, as always. Finding that exhale to press back up off that mat. When you finish that 3rd push-up, no matter where you were, go ahead and bring it back into that high push-up plank position. So pause in that plank for me for a moment. Think about that form, pulling those shoulder blades away from each other so the upper back kind of sticks up. We've got that nice active core. Those glutes and quads are nice and active as well. We are going to go through our 3-legged dog to our crescent lunge. So right foot's going to go up and back as we press those hips up and back. Then the left knee, sweep that right leg forward, plant that foot down underneath that knee. When you're ready, find your balance, sweep it up into our crescent lunge. Taking just a moment to think about this form here. We've got that nice bend in that right knee, that long left leg. If the hip flexor is still a little tight, maybe we've got that gentle bend in that knee. Our shoulder blades are tucked into our back pockets, so we've got those nice active lats. Even though those arms are up nice and high, give me 3 lunge pulses. So a little deeper, dig a little deeper, and then lengthen back up. There's 1, give me 2 more. Dig a little deeper, lower it a little bit, and then lengthen back up. There's 2. 1 more time, we're gonna dig a little deeper, lengthen it up, and then sink right back into that crescent lunge. Very nice. We're going to take our 3 knee repeaters. Take that weight over that right leg. We're pulling those elbows and that knee in towards center, and then extending back out. Again, our sets of 3, give me 3 of those, nice and controlled. Pulling in, nice exhale. Extending out, nice inhale. After that 3rd, go ahead and sink right back into it. All right, so that kind of focuses a little bit on those quads as we pull into our center, that right quad, that front leg. We're gonna work a little bit on that hamstring, that glute of that front leg. I want you to step it forward so those feet meet nice and long. All right, from here, single leg deadlift, kind of like our warrior 3. As I hinge my hips, I'm gonna take my hands down, give my shoulders a little break. I'm gonna aim my fingertips towards the floor. My left foot is lifted. We're still working with that range of motion, that right standing leg. Our single leg deadlift has a gentle bend in that right knee. We hinge at those hips, kind of into that warrior 3 position. I feel tension through my hamstring, through my glute on that right side, and then I press back up to a knee lift. 2 more, just like that. So we're gonna hinge at those hips, kind of towards that warrior 3 until you find tension through that right glute, through that right hamstring, and then press up to that knee lift. Tap those toes down if you need to. 1 more, 3 total. When you finish that 3rd one more time back into that crescent lunge just as our transition. So step that left leg back, bend that right knee, take those arms up, we're folding it forward, fingertips down to surround that right leg. We've got our 3-legged dog, which is gonna take us into 6 nice and controlled mountain climbers. So right foot is gonna press up and back. From here, as we float back into our plank, we're pulling that right knee underneath. That counts as number 1. And then we just extend that out into our plank and switch sides. Here comes number 2 for 4 more. 3, 4, 5, and 6. When you finish that 6, we've got our chaturanga all the way down to the mat. So toes or knees, elbows go back, shoulders shift forward, lower it all the way down. We're doing 3 Supermans with our lat pull. Extend those arms out. Here we go. We're going to lift. Elbows pull down into our lat pull down range of motion. Extend back out and lower down. There's 1. Give me 2 more. Up, in, Out and back down. Very nice. One more. Pull those shoulder blades together. Get those lats nice and active. Very good. When you finish that, cobra or baby cobra. Plant those hands. Press it up. Give yourself a nice little stretch. Let's take our downward facing dog. Activate that core first. Turn those toes over. Press those hips up and back. All right, you guys, we're almost there. 2 more movements until we start it over. We're going to inchworm it back so that our feet are still planted. We're walking those hands back. As soon as you can take that weight onto those feet, feel free to take it there. Bring it into that fold. Last movement brings us into our chair pose. Inhale, sweeps our arms up, sends our hips back. Nice and deep. We're going to stay here for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and 3 Mississippi. Go ahead and stand it up nice and tall. Exhale, fold this forward. All right, we're starting over. You know where this goes. Let's inchworm it out for our 3 Pilates push-ups. Bend those knees, bring those fingertips down, get that shoulder work in, walk it out, toes or knees, 3 push-ups. Exhale presses you up. When you finish those 3, bring it back to that plank for me. Nice, strong, high push-up plank position. All right, left leg is going to take us for our 3-legged jog and up forward for that lunge. So left leg presses up and back. Bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, plant the foot underneath the knee. Up to our crescent, find your balance, find your core. Form check when we get there. We've got that nice bend in that left knee. Those shoulder blades are tucked down into our back pockets. Right leg is long if it can be, or a little bent if that hip flexor is still a little tight. Nice strong core, protect the lower back. Here we go for that pulse. Give it a little deeper. And then stand it up nice and tall. There's 1, give me 2 more. When you finish that 3rd, bring it right back into that crescent lunge. 3 knee repeaters. Take that weight over that left leg. We're pulling that right knee and those elbows together and extend them back out nice and long. When you finish that 3rd, take it right back to that crescent. Find your balance a little bit more gracefully than I did. All right, step that right foot forward to meet the left. Those hands can come down. Still, we're standing on that left leg. We've got our single leg deadlift here. We're going to take that right leg back, hinging at those hips. Fingertips can reach down until we find that nice tension through that slightly bent left knee. Exhale brings us up to that knee lift. 2 more. Keep that core engaged here. We do a lot of quad work in this class, but we want to make sure that we hit the glutes and hamstrings as well. When you finish that 3rd and you get to that knee lift, go ahead and step it back 1 more time to that crescent lunge. All right, we're taking it down through that 3-legged jog to our 6 mountain climbers. So let's fold it forward. Plant those hands. Left leg presses up, and then it comes underneath. High push-up plank, nice and controlled. 6 mountain climbers, 3 on each leg. After you finish those 6, chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Toes or knees, lowers us down. Chest meets the mat, arms extend out. Whew. All right, here we go. Those Supermans with that lat pull. We've got 3. When you're ready, it's that lift, in, out, and lower. Keeping it going right like that. Take these at your own pace. A little faster or slower is fine. When you finish them, we're meeting in that cobra or baby cobra. Whew. All right, we're almost through this 2nd round. Here we go, downward facing dog. Activate that core, turn those toes under, press those hips up and back. We're inchworming it back, so walk those hands backwards towards those feet. Into that fold. And let's take it into our chair here. Sweep those arms up, send those hips back. Nice bend in those knees, nice active core. Very nice. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend it up and bring those arms down and around. Fabulous opportunity for a stretch or range of motion or a sip of your beverage. I'm going to grab a sip of my water and then we'll go back to it and hit it again. Whew. All right, all right. Take your time finishing your stretch, your range of motion, your sip of your water. When you get back to the back of your mat, we're going to find our inhale to take the arms up and our exhale to meet in that forward fold. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and find that. I'll take a couple moments in that fold, so no rush to get there. All right, very nice. We're taking it out to our Pilates push-ups. When you're ready, bend those knees, bring those fingertips down, walk it out nice and long. When you hit the edge of that range of motion, between those 3 push-ups, good form. Exhale presses us pull up off of that mat. When you finish, we've got that 3-legged dog with that right leg. Press it up and back. Press those hips up, bend the left knee, sweep the right leg forward, plant it down. We're bringing it up to our crescent. Very nice. Let's take those pulses. A little extra bend in those knees and then extend up. We've got 3 of them, same as we've been doing. When you finish that third, go ahead and bring it right back into that nice lunge. Nice bend in that right knee. Here we go for those knee repeaters. Take that weight over that right leg, pull that left knee in towards center, and extend back out. When you finish those, right back into that crescent. All right, let's stand it up tall. Bring those feet together. Bring those arms down. Weight is on that right leg. We're sending that left leg back for that single leg deadlift. So gentle bend in that right knee. Send it back. Find that tension through the hamstring, through the glute. And then bring it back up to that knee lift. When you finish that third, go ahead and step it back into your crescent. All right, there we go. Our 3-legged dog is going to take us to our 6 mountain climbers. Go ahead and fold it forward. Plant those hands. That right foot goes up and back. When you're ready, shift those shoulders out over those wrists. Pull that knee underneath. And then we've got those 6 nice and controlled mountain climbers, 3 on each leg. When you finish those, chaturanga brings us all the way down to the mat. Toes or knees, elbows go back, shoulders come forward. We lower it down, nice and controlled. We extend those arms out. 3 of our Supermans with our lat pulls. Here we go. It's that up, in, out, and back down. Whew. Fabulous work, fabulous work. Keep breathing. When you finish those, we're meeting in that cobra or baby cobra. Downward facing dog activates that core, turns those toes under, presses the hips up and back. Let's inchworm it back, walk those hands back towards those feet. A little shoulder work there. Let's take it into our chair. Sweep the arms up, send the hips back. Back and down. Nice, we're here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, stand it up tall. Exhale into that fold, fingertips towards the toes. All right, here we go back towards the top. Let's inchworm it out. We've got those 3 Pilates push-ups. Bend those knees, walk it forward. Toes or knees. Give me those push-ups. When you finish those, 3-legged dog with that left leg. Bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, plant that foot underneath that knee, find your balance, find your core, sweep the arms up into our crescent lunge. Form check once again, drop those shoulders, nice active core, nice bent left knee. All right, here we go for those pulses, a little deeper, bend that back knee, and then extend up. 3 of those. When you finish that third, sink right back into that crescent lunge, that nice bend in that left knee. Fabulous. Well, let's take it out for our knee repeaters. Weight over that left leg. Pull that right knee in towards center and extend back out. When you finish those, bring it right back into that crescent for me. Very nice. Step it forward. Right comes to meet the left. Here we go for those single leg deadlifts. Gentle bend in that left knee. Send that right leg back. We hinge at the hips. So the leg and the upper body are kind of moving in opposition, and then back up for that knee lift. Ooh. My balance on this side is so off today, and that is okay. When you're done, one more time back into that crescent. Very nice. Let's fold it forward. Three-legged dog with that left leg is going to take us into those mountain climbers. When you finish those, chaturanga brings us all the way down to the mat. When you get to the bottom, extend those arms out nice and long. Here come those three Supermans. You got that lift, that lat pull, that lat activation, that extend back out, and our lower down. After your Supermans, press it up into your cobra or baby cobra. Fabulous. Let's take it to our downward facing dog. Activate that core first. Turn those toes under. Press those hips up and back. Inchworm it back. Hands back towards those toes. Chair pose. Here we go. Sweep those arms up. Send those hips back. Three, two, one. Stand it up. Very nice. Exhale into our forward fold. We do not have time for twice more through, so we're going to do a modified version, some things that do not require us to do both sides, the first of which is going to be our Pilates push-ups. We've got 3 final push-ups in our practice today. So bend those knees, plant those hands, walk them out. Last 3 push-ups, make them your best 3. When you finish those, chaturanga, bring it all the way down to the mat. Give me another set of those Supermans. Extend those arms out. We got that lift, that lat pull, that extend, and that lower. 2 more. When you finish that third, bring it into that cobra for me. Let's take it up to our down dog. Activate the core, turn the toes under, press those hips up and back. There's one thing that we're going to do before we walk those hands back towards those feet, and that's going to be our mountain climber. Shift those shoulders out over those wrists. We're doubling it. We're taking 12 total, 6 on each side. Nice and controlled. Count them out for yourself. I am going to try not to count out loud and lose count. I've got 2 more. When you finish those, one more time into that down dog. Inchworm those hands back towards those feet. And last time, let's move it into that chair. Sweep those arms up, send those hips back. We've got a nice little hold here. I want you to sink nice and low. I want you to get that nice bend in those knees. We're keeping our lower back protected by keeping our core activated here. So if bringing those hands up rounds out that lower back, keep it nice and flat. Keep it right where you can get to. Very nice. We've got about 10 more seconds here. Can you sink a little bit lower? Excellent work. Excellent work. We are almost there. Give me another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. One more fold forward. Very nice. Give me your halfway lift. Find that nice flat back, that long spine. And that exhale to fold it forward. Inhale rolls us all the way up to our extended mountain. Spine comes up, arms come up. Let's find our lateral stretches. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches. Inhale pulls us up through center. Exhale in that second direction. Inhale pulls us up to center. Exhale circles the arms down and around. You can either press those palms towards each other behind the back or interlace those hands behind the back. Press the knuckles towards the floor and pull the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Exhale to release. We've got 3 more. Nice deep breaths leading with those arms. Let's take that inhale to take us out. Exhale brings us down and around. 1 more exactly like that. Inhale takes us up. Exhale brings us down. And on our third and final, let's have those palms meet right up overhead. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for being here this overly caffeinated Wednesday evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a fabulous rest of your week. And I will see you guys next time. The light in me honors, the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste.
Dripping with sweat, Sarah.